Okay, so this time our topic is about, of course, computer security threats, which is very important with this in this field, no, especially in operating system. Now, so in computer security threats, again, it covers the computer security concepts, the threats, attacks in assets, the intruders, the malicious software overview, virus, worms in boots, and toolkits. No? So as Sun Tzu mentioned, no, the art of war teaches us to rely not on the likelihood of the enemies not coming, but on our own readiness to receive him, not on the chance of his not attacking, but rather on the fact that we have made our positions unassailable. Now, in this lesson, you should be able to list and explain the key concept that comprises computer security, understand the spectrum of computer security attacks, distinguish among various types of intruders, behavior pattern, and understand the types of intrusion techniques used to breach computer security, summarize the principal types of malicious software, present an overview of the viruses, including typical virus structure and typical virus behavior, understand the security threat posed by worms, boots, no, and explain the key concept of the rootkits. Now, in this lesson, it provides an overview of security threats. No, we begin with a discussion of what we mean by computer security. And in essence, computer security deals with computer-related assets that are subject to a variety of threats and for which various measures are taken to protect those assets. So the remainder of the lesson looks at the two broad categories of computer and network security threats, intruders and malicious software. Again, cryptographic algorithms such as encryption and hash functions play a role both in computer security threats and computer security techniques. Okay, so again, when we say computer security, the protection afforded to an automated information system in order to attain the applicable objectives of preserving the integrity, availability, and confidentiality of information system resources like hardware, software, firmware, information data, and telecommunications. Okay, to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmates. So my report is computer security threats. What is computer security threats? In computer security, a threat is a potential negative action or event facilitated by a vulnerability that results in unwanted impact to a computer system or application. Computer security threats. Computer viruses. A computer virus is a program written to alter the way a computer operates without the permission or knowledge of the user. A virus replicates and executes itself, usually doing damage to your computer in the process. Spyware threats. Spyware is any program that monitors your online activities or install program without your consent for profit or to capture personal information. We amass a wealth of knowledge that will help you combat spyware threats and safe online. Hackers and predator. Hackers and predators are programmers who victimize others for their own gain by breaking into computer system to steal, change, or destroy information as a form of cyber terrorism. This online predator can compromise credit card information, lock you out of your data, and steal your identity. As you may have guessed, online security tools with identity theft protection are one of the most effective ways to protect yourself from this brand of cyber criminals. Phishing. Phishers attempt to steal sensitive financial or personal information through fraudulent email or instant message. Phishing attacks are some of the most successful method for cyber criminals looking to pull off a data breach. Antivirus solution with identity theft protection can be taught to recognize phishing threats in fraction of a second. Malware. Viruses are the most well-known computer and network threats. They are a type of malware, short for malicious software, which is any program or file that is harmful to computer or networks. Virus. A virus consists of self-propagating program code that is triggered by a specified time or event. When the program or operating system containing the virus is used, the virus attaches itself to other files and the cycle is continuous. Worm. A worm travels from computer to computer in a network but it does not usually erase data. Trojan. A Trojan program contains code intended to disrupt a computer, network, or websites, and it is usually hidden inside a popular program. Logic bomb. A logic bomb is a type of Trojan program used to release a virus, worm, or other destructive code. Backdoor. A backdoor, also called a trapdoor, is a programming routine built into a system by its designer or programmer. Blended threats. A blended threat is a security threat that combines the characteristic of computer viruses, worm, and other malicious code with vulnerabilities found on a public and a private network. DOS. A denial of service or DOS attacks floods a network or server with service requests to prevent legitimate user access to the system. Thank you so much.
Okay, so again, it is very important for us to identify the CIA triad, no? Actually, we discussed this one in our InfoSec, no? The confidentiality, integrity, and availability, no? So, although the CIA triad defines security objectives as well as establish some of security field additional concepts are needed to present a complete picture. The two most commonly mentioned are authenticity and accountability, no? So our presenter already discussed about the unauthorized disclosure, no? This will be the threat to confidentiality, including or the following types of attacks can result in this threat consequence, like exposure, of course, and interception, inference, no? Intrusion, deception, masquerade, falsification, repudiation, disruption, incapacitation, corruption, obstruction, usurpation, misappropriation, and misuse. So when it comes to threat in asset, the asset of a computer system can be categorized as hardware, software, data, and communication lines and networks. So a major threat to computer system hardware is the threat to availability. No, for the software includes the OS, utilities, and application programs. A key threat to software is the attack on the availability, of course. No, so I think everybody are familiar with the hardware and software security are typically concerned of computing center professional or individual concerns of personal computer users. Now, like for data. So the intruders itself, no, performing a remote root compromise of an email server, defacing a web server, guessing and cracking password, they are the intruders, copying a database containing credit card numbers, viewing sensitive data, including payroll records, and medical information without authorization. Another is running a packet sniper on the workstation to capture username and password. Somebody using a permission error or an anonymous FTP server to distribute pirated software and music files. Another is dialing into an unsecured modem and gaining internal network access. Posing an executive, calling the help desk, receiving the executive emails, password, and learning the new password. And using an unattended login workstation permissions. So, of course, some patterns for hackers, no, criminal enterprise, no, internet threats, and so on. But there are some cases now that we have an insider attacks. No, the insider attacks are among the most difficult to detect and prevent because employees already have access to and acknowledge of the structure and content of corporate databases. So insider attacks can be motivated by revenge or simply a feeling or entitlement. No, An example of a former is the case of Kenneth Eagle Outfitters, no? Patterson disabled the company's availability to process credit card purchasing during 5 days on the holiday season. No? As for a sense of entitlement, there had always been many employees who felt entitled to take extra office suppliers for home use. No? But this now extend to corporate data. So although IDPs and IPS facilities can be useful in countering inside attackers, no? Other more direct approaches are of higher priority. No, example include the enforced list privilege. No, only allowing access to the resource employees need to do their job. So we have a level of security. No, let's say in school, no, we have a student account, faculty account, registrars account, accounting account, no, human resource account. We have admin and super admin account actually, no. We need to set logs, no, to see what user access and what commands they are entering, no. We protect sensitive resources with strong authentication, no. Most commonly 2 to 3 week authentication, no. Upon termination, delete employee's computer and network access, and upon termination, make a mirror image of the employee's hard drive before reissuing it. That evidence might be needed if your company information turns up at a competitor. No? So